Venice is a unique city located in northeastern Italy, built on a group of 118 small islands that are connected by canals and bridges. Its history dates back over 1,500 years, and it has been an important center of trade, culture, and politics throughout its existence. Venice was founded in the 5th century by refugees from Roman cities that were being invaded by barbarians. These refugees settled on the islands in the lagoon, which were protected by the shallow waters and difficult terrain, making them hard to attack. The early Venetians were largely self-sufficient, building their own homes and boats, and developing a strong maritime tradition that would become central to their identity. In the Middle Ages, Venice grew into a major trading power, with the vast network of merchants and bankers operating throughout the Mediterranean and beyond. The city became wealthy through its trade in spices, silk, and other luxury goods, and it was able to build magnificent palaces, churches, and public buildings as a result. Venice also became a major center of art and culture, with artists such as Titian, Tintoretto, and Bellini creating some of their most famous works in the city. During the Renaissance, Venice continued to thrive, but it also became embroiled in a series of conflicts with neighboring powers, including the Ottoman Empire and the Papal States. These conflicts, along with the rise of new trading centers such as Amsterdam and London, gradually weakened Venice's economic and political power. In the 19th century, Venice became part of the newly unified Kingdom of Italy, and it began to reinvent itself as a tourist destination. The city's stunning architecture, picturesque canals, and rich cultural heritage made it a popular destination for artists, writers, and travelers from around the world. Today, Venice continues to be a major tourist destination, but it also faces a number of challenges, including rising sea levels, overcrowding, and pollution. Despite these challenges, the city remains a unique and fascinating place, with the rich history and culture that continue to captivate visitors from around the world. Venice's revenue and wealth were largely based on its extensive trade networks, which spanned the Mediterranean and beyond. From the 10th to the 15th century, Venice was one of the most important trading powers in the world, and its merchants and bankers controlled vast amounts of wealth. Venice's trade was centered around luxury goods, such as spices, silks, precious metals, and gems, which were in high demand among the nobility and wealthy merchants of Europe. These goods were obtained through trade with the East, particularly through the Silk Road and the Red Sea. Venice's position as a major trading center was due to its strategic location at the head of the Adriatic Sea, which made it an ideal hub for trade between the East and West. Venetian ships traveled to ports throughout the Mediterranean, from North Africa and the Middle East to Spain and Portugal. In addition to its trade in luxury goods, Venice was also a major producer of high-quality glass and textiles, which were exported throughout Europe. Venice's wealth from trade allowed it to build magnificent palaces, churches, and public buildings, as well as to support a flourishing cultural and artistic scene. However, Venice's dominance in trade began to decline in the 16th century, as other European powers such as the Netherlands and England began to establish their own trade networks and compete for control. Venice's economy today is largely driven by tourism, as the city is a popular destination for travelers from around the world. In 2019, before the COVID-19 pandemic, Venice received over 25 million tourists, who spent an estimated €2 billion in the city. However, the pandemic has had a significant impact on the city's economy, as travel restrictions and safety concerns have led to a sharp decline in tourism. In 2020, the number of visitors to Venice fell by more than 90%, and many businesses in the city have struggled to survive. In addition to the pandemic, Venice faces a number of long-term economic challenges, including a declining population, an aging infrastructure, and the threat of climate change. The city's historic buildings and canals require ongoing maintenance and restoration, which can be expensive, and rising sea levels pose a threat to the city's very existence. Despite these challenges, Venice remains an important cultural and historical center, with a vibrant art scene and a rich heritage that continues to attract visitors from around the world. The city is also home to a number of small businesses and artisanal workshops that produce high-quality goods, such as Murano glass and Venetian masks, which are sold both locally and internationally.